All right, here we are. We're down at the cabin. Well, I should say we're at the sugar shack. And it is snowing. Whew. Just get you set up here. I don't know how well this is going to work because I don't have all the covers on here. But anyway, let's try it anyway. I've got some of the plates I might be able to jam in here. I've got to do a little bit more permanent thing than this, obviously. But I got to remove these when I got the big pots on there. I don't think that one's going to sit there. We'll leave it there. Oh, it's chilly down here. So I was at the Joe Sousa premiere this morning. That was nice, Joe. That 49 Chev panel truck sounds like it'll be a thing. A nice thing. I will try this out and see. May not be able to put too big a fire in, but I'll try a little one anyway. Be the first fire I've had in it down here, so we'll try her out. Where did I put the... Oh, there they are. Come on now. There we go. Whew. A little bit of ice on my seat. Well, the first thing I want to say is welcome to the Sugar Shack, everybody. I didn't build this building. This was existing on the property. We used to use it as a sleep cabin before the house was built and before I built the other cabin. But I decided to convert this into a sugar shack because I'm surrounded in maple trees right where this cabin is sitting. So you're going to be able to see that in the springtime. I'm going to be drilling, tapping trees, putting the pails out. I got 2 sterilized plastic garbage cans where I leave in the shack here, and I'll be dumping the sap in there. When I get a full garbage can, I think it's 20 gallons or whatever it is, I start boiling. So to boil, I just simply take these lids off, and I've got 2 big pots that fit right in. They sit up on top of the rebar here. And when I want to finish boil, I just take this lid off from the steel, and I've got a stainless steel pot that fits right in that spot there to do the finished boil. That looks like the smoke is going out so far. Let's just play with this a little bit. It is fairly chilly this morning. Anyways, I want to thank all of my viewers for tuning in to me and listening to this guy ramble on sometimes and doing some silly things. And I finally hit over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for all my new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. I've got a lot of things coming up. What do we got going on here? I could talk a little bit about some of the antiques that I've got in this building. I'm going to have you look around a little bit here. I gathered these antiques from a building that was abandoned from an old farmstead. My buddy Tom and I, you've seen Tom on my videos. We've cleaned that place up, and well, I got these old sap pails. They're not going to be used. I have plastic ones that I use. But I thought it was just a nice piece of history to have the old pails. And there's some lids here. And there's actually a spigot right there. Look at that. An old metal spigot. I have plastic ones now. I got some, look at that, aviation oil and Quaker State and a Shell. Those things are full of oil. Never been opened. One other item over here, we've got one of those antique wood spray or weed sprayer, bug sprayer, plant sprayer, whatever. And look at this grease gun. How would you like to grease something with that? And I got some signs in here too. Got some old license plates. There's another old one, a 51. Got an old wooden clamp here. There's a drill. And I just find stuff like this very interesting, these old saw blades. There's like an old door off a stove, probably a coal type fired burner. So you could see in and see how the fire's doing. The old wrenches here. Look at this old monkey wrench here. Got a drill with a drill bit in it, ready to rock and roll. There was some horseshoes welded together, you know, into the fashion of a hook so the guy could hang his jacket or whatever. We got a scooping bucket for the sap. We got a cowbell. Need more cowbell. We have a damper out of a stove. And this unit here would have been used to carry the pails of sap. I'm not sure how the rest of the rigging worked out, but they would hang a pail off of each end here. And just an interesting little thing. But look at these. Pure maple syrup. Now this little gadget here, what you do with this, you put matches in it. You can see you've got matches in there to light your fire. This was just a handle that was hanging around, so I thought, just bring it along. We got another pail here with a screen in it. You can see the screen there. An old coffee pot. Another pail with a spigot on it. This one's full. Utility oil. That one says lacquer thinner. I don't know. Oh, you can see the glow of the fire in here. Let's have a look. Sure, why not? Got my kindling basket. Over here we've got some old jugs. Could be moonshine jugs for all I know. Look at that. Do have a fire extinguisher in here. Now I got some of my stainless pots. This is the finished boil stainless pot. I've got a couple of other ones that I can use. But the main boil ones I put in these big black corn pots here, and they work well. I got a table here that my dad got for me so I can do the canning down here. And that's basically the operation, except for the cupola. And the cupola is that door right up there. And you can see I've got string coming down, or I've got some rope to a bungee. I don't know if this is going to open or not. Let's try it. Might be snow up there. Oh, there, it's going to open. See that? There's the cupola. And that'll be on when when I get boiling in here, and the sap and the steam and everything. That'll let the steam out. Okay? What else have we got going on here today? There. See, the fire is going good there now. Where's my glasses, Grandpa? I don't think it's going to get terribly warm in here today. It's like a bloody meat freezer in here. Well, I did a video yesterday. I was down at Tom's and starting to gather up parts to build this sawmill. Because I'm going to build a 10 by 16 heated workshop. And in order to do that, I don't want to go to the local hardware store or home hardware or whatever you want to call it, Home Depot, and buy the lumber. That's easy. Let's make it fun. So I said to Tom, I said, I got to do that. I got a chainsaw mill. He goes, chainsaw mill? He said, what the heck? He says, why don't we build a sawmill? I said, okay, let's build a sawmill. So we're going to build a sawmill. Now, you saw in that one video, if you didn't watch it, go back through the channel here and have a look. It's just a 35-second video. There's a motorcycle laying flat on the ground, no engine in it. And he said, what do you think of this? We're going to use the motorcycle wheels to run the bandsaw on. Now, you've seen that before on different guys' videos making sawmills. You've used motorcycle wheels, car wheels, trailer tires. But this motorcycle is a shaft drive. So we're thinking we can utilize that shaft, put a pulley on the end, run the belt to the motor, and spin the drive shaft on that wheel. I don't know. We're going to give it a go. And he said, look, it's still got the brakes on it. And he said, you often see those guys when they're sawing with their sawmills, and when they're done cutting, the thing's spinning at such a great speed. They turn the engine down, but it's still spinning. We're going to have the handbrake hooked up so we can just go slow it down and stop it. Just because it's there, we're going to use it. So I can't wait for that, and I've got the spot picked out I showed you, or I don't know if I did or not, but there's a spot picked out up top there, and I'll chainsaw mill? I'll have a sawmill. I'll sawmill the lumber, and I'm going to build a roof over it, so I'm going to have its own station. We're also going to build a log arch, and if you don't know what a log arch is, it's two wheels with an arch and a little bit of a hoist or a crank. So you back up to your log, wrap the sling or the chain around it, jack it up, hook it onto the back of your side-by-side or ATV. Now you can drive away. The front of the log is up off the ground and you got wheels on the front. The back end can drag. I don't care about that because it's only the very back corner. Now I can cut trees or move logs. If I get logs that come here, I can hook them onto the side-by-side and tow them over. Tom also has a hydraulic jib hoist, which is going to be coming up. This thing goes up and down. It has a winch on it, so the boom actually extends and contracts, and it swivels. So I can reach out, grab the log, pick it up, swing it around whichever way I need, and put it right on the sawmill. There's no hoisting it up a ramp and everything. We can just pick the bloody thing up and drop her down on the mill. So that'll be fun. That'll be gasoline engine driven as well because it's all hydraulic. It's got a bunch of levers and hoses on it. I didn't get to show you that in my last video, but it is there, and Tom did show it to me, and I think that that's a great idea. So that's in the works. I did show you the 78 Ford F100 chassis, and the engine is there, still on the engine hoist under a tarp. He does have another tarp garage up there that we're going to organize and get that chassis in some point later on this month. We're hoping after Christmas I'll be back up there and we can start working on finishing that chassis. So we'll get the heat going on in there, and I want to get the steering box on it and get the front end suspension completely finished up, and we'll be able to pull the chassis out, pick the cab because it's on his front lawn right now getting buried in snow, plop that on the chassis and roll her back in and work away at it from there. Excuse me. Just had my breakfast. Wife made me a nice sausage and egg and hash browns. Very nice. I was down at my buddy Ian's place the other day, and I showed you the white Hearst Olds and the gold 57 Chevy pickup. Well, I did show you also in a previous video that blue Cutlass Supreme with the floors that are rotted out of it. We are going to be revisiting that car when he does get the material for the floorboards. We'll go up and we'll do some filming of welding in there. I'm going to teach him how to do some welding. He's interested and keen to learn, so he's bought a brand new machine and bought a helmet, and he's keen to go. So I said, yep, we'll get down and we'll do some filming on that. There's also another car in that shop that we didn't get to look at, and it's underneath the car cover, and that's a 68 Chevelle SS 396 4-speed. Belongs to another one of the car club members of the Halliburton Highlands Time Travelers Car Club that I belong to. That would be Bruce's car, and we're going to have a look at that one at some point this winter as well. So lots going on down there in Ian's. The 51 Ford tow truck that I have, Lulaval I call her, I've taken the battery box out from under the hood, and you saw me paint the valve covers. Now I got to take the valve covers back off. They're going to need another sanding, cleaning, and another coat of yellow just to get rid of all the fish eyes and crap and whatnot. And I got to get new valve cover gaskets because the neoprene gaskets in there were just ripped to shreds. And I wondered why I could smell oil burn every time I drove that thing. I thought the oil pan was leaking and it was dripping onto the headers, and that's not the case. It's leaking out of both valve covers, running down the block, running down the oil pan gasket onto the headers. I checked the oil pan out, and the oil pan is fine. The gasket's good. I wiped it. It's tight. It's right. I do have some 3x3 square tubing. The back cross member in that pickup truck, tow truck, however you want to call it, it's actually a pickup truck with a tow truck rigging in the back. It's rotted. I mean, bad rotted. It's an S10 chassis. So I'm going to make a cross member for that. So I'm going to film stuff like that. And the battery box getting mounted behind the seats. So I got to lengthen, the battery cables so that the battery can get out from under the hood. That's a great way to boil the hell out of your battery. Put it on top of a hot engine. Let's put it in behind the seat where it doesn't come to any harm back there. I got to get coaxial cable. I do have a CB radio in there and twin trucker antennas, so I'd like to get, that thing functioning. The 10x16 heated workshop. So I called the township where I live up here, and I said, what's the biggest shed you can build without a permit? It used to be like a 10x10, which is what I built over here. I built a shed. I think it's an 8x10 or a 9x10 or something. They told me 10x16. Well, it's not big enough to put a vehicle in, but I can certainly I'll build another one of these, but without the lids on it. It will just have a cutout in it so I can do some cooking on there, and I can go out and I weld in there. I can grind, I can paint, I can sand, and I can put all my tools out there out of the basement. It's just going to be a fantastic place to go in the wintertime, and great place to film. That'll become the new Grandpa's Garage. The homemade barrel wood stove, like I was just talking about, they're quite easy to make. You need a zip cut, and you need a welder, and some material. Now the door, you can make the door out of a thicker material if you want, like I did with this one. And I made the handles, and I made the latch and everything, and it works quite well. But doesn't cost you a lot of money. You don't got to buy that barrel stove kit like you see everybody for, I don't know, $100 or whatever the heck they are. You just, I just go with what I got. And if I don't got, then I come up with something. I find where I can get. Oh, I'd just like to say to everybody, thanks for watching. And I'm just a grandpa that likes to have fun. I enjoy the outdoors. I've got to get out there. I can see the snow is piling up. It's snowing. It's not a heavy snow, but it is steady coming down. And I think we're going to shut this off. And we'll see you hopefully. Bad Chad and the lad are coming on soon there. Joe Sousa, I've been enjoying your videos and your premieres. And I hope everybody's been enjoying mine. When Chad's back on, I guess these things will become pushed off to the side as we all get back on the chat. Bye for now.